There's controversy in the state capitol, and how it resolves will affect a congressional district running through Jacksonville. Representative Al Lawson's district could be dismantled. We have local attorney and state lawmaker Paul Renner with us today. And a week into processing what happened, we're hearing the impact of Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation to the Supreme Court. Councilmember Brenda Priestley Jackson offering her insights. Plus, the National Safety Council says the roads in Northeast Florida and everywhere else are more dangerous than they've been in years. Local experts on the impact of and the solution to driving distracted on This Week in Jacksonville. Thanks for joining us today. So Florida lawmakers are heading into a special legislative session this week. The purpose is to redesign and agree on congressional maps. There have been maps drawn by both chambers in the Capitol and by the governor's attorney. And when lawmakers approved their maps, the governor said no with his veto. All right, joining us in studio today, State Representative Paul Renner, in line to become Speaker of the House. And Mr. Renner, I guess, what do you anticipate when things get going? It's not tomorrow, it's Tuesday of this week when the session begins.
Well, look, I think it's a great compromise. If you look at the map, it incorporates components of a previously introduced map by the governor's office as well as the legislature. And if you look more importantly at the objective criteria, in other words, is it gerrymandered or not gerrymandered, it is the most compact. It meets all those objective standards in the best way of any map that we've seen so far.
So you're saying the map. Let's help people understand how we got there. Speaker Chris Sprowls and then Senate President Wilton Simpson announced early last week no new maps would be drawn. Basically, the governor said, here's my map. Explain why that was, because I think critics are going to say, hey, the governor just gets to do whatever he wants. He gets his way in this. Why did we elect state representatives and senators?
Yeah, just a quick background. You know, the state House and Senate maps have already been passed. The state Supreme Court has unanimously approved those maps. So those are already off to the side. And now we're dealing with the congressional maps for Washington, D.C., in which the governor, like us, has a constitutional role. And so that's the product of compromise. And I think what we have here is that compromise. And the earlier disagreement was really over the law, not philosophy, in that, you know, the law has begun to evolve, and the legislative map originally looked at the law that we had from 10 years ago and is still good law, we think, as opposed to the trends at the federal level that are moving in the direction of what the governor says the law is today. And that really deals with whether we can have maps like Congressman Lawson's, which, if you look at it, it's absolutely gerrymandered. And the question is, can you have that crazy gerrymandered district and do so for purposes of creating a minority seat? Yeah. And the courts are kind of moving in the direction, I think, of saying you can, but in very limited circumstances. And that's the governor's point.
So let's define a term here. Many of our viewers, many of you right now are saying, yeah, I know what gerrymandered means. What do we mean by gerrymandered? And we're talking about creating that district.
Well, it's a district you'd expect to see. A compact district would be like a shape, a circle, yeah, a rectangle, a square. A gerrymandered district like the one that is Congressional District 5, Congressman Lawson's, runs from Jacksonville all the way into the Panhandle, and it has very, narrow bands. It looks like a disjointed snake.
All across the top of North Florida, right?
Right, and so the idea is the 14th Amendment, the governor's point would be the 14th Amendment doesn't allow us to gerrymander. We shouldn't be drawing seats based upon race at all in either direction. The Voting Rights Act and some of the case law previously said, well, yeah, you can do it for this purpose only, which is to create an opportunity for minority voters to elect a minority representative. But what kind of scenario do you have there in Jacksonville? Are there enough minority voters that it triggers that analysis, or what the governor said, which is this is a gerrymandered district and it's unconstitutional under today's jurisprudence?
Well, if I look back 10 years ago when the state went through this process, the congressional map there had to go through a court process and everything, and at that point, Kareem Brown was in that particular district. I do want, since you brought up Congressman Lawson, I do want to show you, he has responded to this. U.S. Representative Al Lawson issuing a statement here about the latest proposed map from the governor's office. It says, today's revelation is a continued scheme by DeSantis to erase minority access districts in Congress in order to create more seats for the Republican Party. DeSantis is doing a disservice to Florida voters by playing partisan politics. This latest map clearly violates the Voting Rights Act as well as the U.S. and Florida constitutions. I want to show you another statement here. Tracy Davis, who's a state representative from this area, says, leadership is allowing the governor to draw the new congressional maps. Last time I checked, I was elected to serve the people of Jacksonville, not Ron Ron DeSantis. If he thinks we're going to just accept his plan to disenfranchise black voters in our community, he's dead wrong. Mr. Renner, I just wanted to hear your perspective on those statements, that pushback both from Congressman Lawson and the state representative.
Well, ultimately, it's for the courts to decide. And as I mentioned, there is an evolution in the court's decisions over the last 10 years that's moving, I believe, in the governor's direction. Has it moved so far that they'll uphold these maps? I believe it's a good map. It's one I intend to support next week. But it's really for the courts to decide. A state representative and even the governor's office can't do that. That's what our judges do in the judiciary, and they'll just tell us, whether it's constitutional or not, or send us back to try again. But I believe this is a good compromise map between the legislature and the governor's office.
And we've kind of been talking about it. I want to show it to you now. The governor's office released its map midweek. This is what the Northeast Florida portions of the map looks like. So the new CD5, Congressional District 5, is in yellow there. And it includes Nassau County, Western Duval, and then right next to it, that whole big green area, I believe, is District 3. The complaints here is that it seems to favor, instead of having a congressional district that is leaning more Republican, CD4, and one that leans more Democrat, that now it's both Republicans. Is that the goal? Do you think that's the goal of what the governor's map does?
No, I think the goal is, if you saw the rest of the map, is it's very much blocks, squares and rectangles. If you looked at the Lawson seat, you would see this really heavily gerrymandered seat and say, what is that? And the question is whether today's understanding of the 14th Amendment allows that kind of highly gerrymandered seat for racial purposes to stand. And that's what the courts will decide.
So that's coming up this week. I did want, while I had you here with me, just briefly, Jeff Brandes says that there's support. He's getting support about another special session in Tallahassee about property insurance. That hasn't happened yet. That hasn't been confirmed. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, it's an important issue. It's one we've worked on a bit over the last couple of years, but there's more work to be done. I mean, it is absolutely driving up premiums. And what's happening is people have developed a cottage industry, mainly in the roofing area, where people are getting new roofs that have had a roof for 10 years, and somebody knocks on the door and goes up on the roof and says, I can get you a new roof. And so people that are on fixed income, that have never had a claim, a homeowner's claim, are seeing their insurance premiums skyrocket. And so we do need to address this. It's a question of timing, whether we run in right now to try to do something, or whether we spend the summer trying to look at a robust set of reforms, hear from the public, hear from all the experts across the aisle on what we should do, and come back after we have the new legislature after November's election. Yeah,
and here at our station, we've heard from people facing that in the last several months. It is definitely an issue, so we'll circle back. We'll talk about that again. State Representative Paul Renner, thanks so much for your time today.
Great to be with you. Thanks, Kent.
Well, Brenda Priestley Jackson is our next guest, the local lawyer and a member of City Council. And we're talking about how it feels to see a black woman confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a surfboard. And for many, that's close enough. It's time to vote for Jack's Best. Just head to newsforjacks.com/JacksBest to vote for your favorite surf shop. Jack's Best, presented by Visit Jacksonville, where you're the local expert.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Pay no interest on Buick SUV models.
I was rear-ended. I didn't know what to expect. They were on top of things, and they made you feel that they were on top of things.
Dear Jacksonville, you've been my home for over 4 decades, and I can't thank you enough. I love my fellow hardworking, family-oriented, friendly citizens of Jacksonville, but there's some things we can improve in our town. We need to reduce crime, homelessness, and housing costs, for safer neighborhoods, improved mental health funding, and affordable housing. I can't imagine myself living anywhere else, so I'm running for City Council, and I believe in the possibilities of what Jacksonville can become.
Vote Jack Meeks, March 2023. The St. Augustine Food and Wine Festival is coming May 4th through the 8th. Hundreds of unlimited wine, beer, and spirits tastings, live music, cooking demos, and mouth-watering bites. Save $10 on Saturday with WJXT promo codes. Visit StAugustineFoodAndWineFestival.com.
When you step into a new day, determined, committed, willing to take on whatever's asked of you, that new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
Right now, during Ram Truck Month, with 0% financing for 72 months, get an average $13,025 in finance savings on the 2022 Ram 1500.
We're dishing with the one and only Carla Hall. And she's whipping up her legendary biscuits.
Boom, boom. I think they need their own zip code. Look at those layers, y'all.
Delightful, crisp, toasty biscuits.
Monday at 10 on Channel 4, the local station. Your go-to weather app just got 100 times better. The new Weather Authority app. Everything you need to know right on the homepage from the team you know and trust.
And easy-to-read radar with custom layers and one-tap storm tracking.
Personalized weather alerts when and where you need them the most.
Stay alert of local storm damage and find important supplies near you with Snapchat.
No clutter, no clicking around. Just your forecast fast. Download the new Weather Authority app today. Just search for News 4 Jax in your app store.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
And Brenda Priestley-Jackson is in studio with us for this segment. Thank you for joining us. I reached out the day Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed by the U.S. Senate. And I thought of you because you're an attorney. Thought of you because of your public service to the city, both city council and on school board. You're a leader in our community. And as a black woman, I wanted to hear what this means to you, seeing what happened there in the confirmation of the first African-American female to the Supreme Court of the United States.
I am beyond overjoyed. It's been something that was hoped for, aspirations of many, but to see the achievement for her, it's so encouraging. It's such a positive reminder of the inclusion of African-American ladies in the fabric of our country in one of the highest and most prestigious positions in our country.
It was interesting seeing, she had to go through the process. Didn't matter who the candidate is, you're going to go through this process, these Senate confirmation hearings, and you know that there will be some partisan stuff there. Some of those questions that she had to deal with, how did you feel about that? Offensive at all? Or, hey, I just know that this is part of the process and it's a partisan thing?
You can know it's a part of the process and still be deeply offended, because that's how I felt. So you're deeply offended that she's asked things that don't relate to her judicial record or her thoughts or ideology relative to constitutional interpretation. It's an othering. It's a pushing to the margins. It's a removing the significance and importance and the nature of her high credentials for this particular office, particular position. And so you kind of believe that those who were there clearly weren't public servants at the time that they were asking some of those questions. They were engaging in partisan politics to demonize and marginalize this highly qualified appointee for the United States Supreme Court.
It's interesting watching that process. There were those who said, oh boy, she handled it really well, and the critics who wanted to say, well, she didn't answer the question or whatever. What are you supposed to do in that situation, right?
Yep, exactly. And I appreciated that she said, I am going to share with you how I engage the law. And I think any person who has a process in place for a particular position of that nature, so whether you're a judge or an elected official, or you could be a mayor or any other office, there's a process that you go through personally, and that's what she talked with them about and shared, that she has impeccable credentials. She has been vetted, confirmed, this was her 4th confirmation. So what did you not know? They already knew all of that, but that really wasn't what that was about. It was about theater more than anything, and that was disheartening.
I do want to show you some video that we've got from supporters outside the Supreme Court building. While lots of celebrating that you see here, almost half the U.S. Senate voted against confirming, and that was, as we're talking about now, based on partisan concerns. What did this mean to you when you get to see this? As part of our coverage, we're seeing what's happening, and so many supporters with those messages you just saw confirm Jackson. I mean, lots of support in that.
I was encouraged. The first few days I was able to watch the confirmation process. I worked from home for a few days and had meetings later in the day, so I was able to watch it. But to see the joy, the hope, the coalescing behind such a high-quality candidate, to see the possibility of a black female being confirmed to the Supreme Court, it's encouraging for every daughter, regardless of their ethno-racial identity, of the possibilities of what's achievable in this country. She represents a long line of black ladies who have come before and are first in law. So Patricia Roberts Harris, Constance Baker Motley, Barbara Jordan, and now we can also say the Vice President Kamala Harris. So it's a good day.
So the day after confirmation, we saw Ketanji Brown Jackson with the president and with the vice president. The soon-to-be Supreme Court justice said it's taken 232 years, 115 prior appointments for a black woman to be selected to serve in the Supreme Court of the United States. But we've made it. Do you agree? Have we made it?
We have made it, but what does that mean? We've made it to the Supreme Court. Have we removed all structural barriers for full inclusion for black ladies in this country? Absolutely not. But you know, they say a steady drip will wear a hole in a rock. So we glorify this drip of her, breaking into the Supreme Court, and we know there's much more work to do to open access for the perfecting of our country for inclusion of all of us.
So let's wrap up here. What is next? What's more to be done in creating more diversity, more inclusion in government and in leadership in our country?
I think we have to continue the mentoring, we have to continue the modeling, and we have to talk about it. Race neutrality is not the way to go in making certain all parts of our society are represented in whatever we do. We have to talk about it. We don't talk about it in a marginalizing way. We don't talk about it in a demeaning way, but we do have a conversation about, does this look like America of today? Jacksonville, does our city government and elected office look like the Jacksonville of today? Does the state look like the Florida of today, the state leadership, and the same thing on a national level? So I think we have those conversations, but more importantly, none of us would be where we are but for someone bringing us along the way. Those of us in positions of trust and leadership, have an obligation to grab someone else along with us and make certain that we do that in a very purposeful manner going forward.
All right, so not to dive too far into the weeds here. We got maybe a minute, 2 minutes left. But in my conversations with people about our community, how do we understand each other better? Talking about differing races, how do we understand each other's experience? Is that the kind of talk that needs to happen? Do we need to talk deeper than just in government or positions? Do we need to talk in our communities and say, hey, how do I understand your experience so that we can do life together?
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we need to do that. We lost that. We did that at one time in Jacksonville. So I'm born in the late 66, but I'm a child of the 70s, and that's all we did. We talked. I'm the desegregation baby, so we had all of these comings together of what Jacksonville should be. Now, we've got to get back to that. Wow. When you talk about our history, but the present context of the impact, it does not hold anyone presently accountable for what happened in the past, but it says, this is a grievance of my heart. This is what I feel stands in the way of moving further. Can you understand that? Empathy and compassion would open all of our ears to understand those different perspectives that we all bring in this rich tapestry of our city. It
does make a difference. I agree. And I thank you so much for sharing your perspective on something historic like this. Thanks for
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So stay with us. One more big topic to tackle today: distracted driving and the impact on our communities. Wayne Hogan is next on This Week in Jacksonville.
When you have an accident, you really feel lost. To have somebody that's there in your corner helping you getting through that time, it's definitely an amazing feeling.
It's so musty in here.
Damprit attracts and traps excess moisture, eliminating the source of musty odors.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
With
Looking for wide open beaches and plenty of exciting ways to have fun? Daytona Beach is the place. So start planning your trip today at DaytonaBeach.com, and we'll see you at the finish line.
Don't miss the Mandarin Art Festival this weekend at the Mandarin Community Club. A $2 donation is requested at the gate.
Hey, Mike Baxter for Outdoor, man.
Mike.
What?
Check. Really?
Mike.
Dad, check. Come on, Mike.
What? Check.
Really?
Mike.
Dad, check. Come on, Mike. Seriously.
Check.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. On New Year's, I was alone.
You were with me, honey.
Which is alone adjacent.
Weeknights at 8 and 8:30 on Channel 4, the local station.
I believe in the love of country, the flag, honoring our military, and back in the blue. Whatever national news you watch, local news, it is not. Whatever you are, right-wing, liberal, it doesn't matter. Knowing what's happening in your neighborhoods, tracking bad storms right to my street, keeping you safe from the next thing, and getting answers to questions that I care about. That's local news. That's why I watch News 4 Jax. They are who they've always been.
You can get your smile back today. At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we make high-quality tooth replacement affordable for everyone. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or life-changing dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can help you go ahead and smile. Click or call to schedule your new smile consultation today.
Go ahead and smile.
For over 20 years, Subaru of Jacksonville has made the customer experience our top priority. This focus has earned us Dealer Rater's Dealer of the Year time and time again. And Subaru of Jacksonville is here to help you find the perfect Subaru. Take advantage of great pricing and interest rates starting at just 1.9% on new 22 Subaru models, plus a complimentary national lifetime warranty or 2 years maintenance. Experience the Subaru of Jacksonville difference. Your favorite Subaru dealership for a generation and counting.
Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru.
Inside Edition weeknights at 7:30 on Channel 4, the local station.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
And thanks for staying with us today. I'm joined at the table by Wayne Hogan, president and partner for Terrell Hogan Law Firm in Jacksonville. Thanks for coming in. The topic here is about Distracted Driving Month.
Yes.
So there's this focus here about distracted driving. Tell me your involvement over the years and why this is important to you.
Well, this began with a friend of mine in Philadelphia whose daughter was killed while a pedestrian because of a driver that was distracted. He decided that personal injury firms that do the work that we do across the country should go into schools and help educate students about the dangers of distracted driving using these devices that we all have in our pocket, one way or the other, whether you're texting or on the phone. And then after that, we started doing it, talking to businesses, talking to civic groups so that businesses could adopt policies that control the activities of their employees out there on the roadway.
What are some of those examples maybe here in Jacksonville? Are there businesses or has the city government or who has adopted some of those policies?
A good example is that the city of Jacksonville, when Mayor Brown decided to look at the old policies, which were practically no policies at all, and adopted a change that all the vehicles controlled by the mayor's office, the drivers are not able to use their cell phones at all. That's the written policy now of the city. Randy Wise, who was going to be with us today from the Jacksonville Association of Firefighters, he was there that day because of the dangers of that. Yeah. And the state has gone ahead and adopted a variety of rules to try to address that. They've made texting a primary offense. You can now be stopped for it. In places around the country, people are being prosecuted for manslaughter if there's a death as a result of a person texting. And to protect firefighters, police, and other vehicles that make things go in Jacksonville, now if they're there and their lights are flashing, a person is required to move over, and if they're not able to move over into the other line, to slow down 20 miles an hour below the posted speed limit to try to avoid causing a terrible tragedy.
So let me show you some of the number. By the way, a typical day, we understand, 800 people are killed, hundreds more injured in distraction-affected crashes. But here are some of the numbers that we're talking about. In Florida, distracted driving in 2021, 333 fatalities, more than 1,000 crashes each week on average, 2,700 plus serious bodily injuries, and 56,000 crashes, 75% of them due to driver inattentiveness. So when 2020 and 2021, first years in Florida history where there have been more than 300 deaths because of this.
And we're not sure exactly what happened during that time. We're in the pandemic with the freedom that people felt out there, but you can't be on these devices because it's not just texting. Now, I'll give you an example though. It takes about 4 to 5 seconds to read and then respond to a text, just to type out something. That, if you're going 55 miles an hour, you've gone the length of a football field, blind, basically. The other 4 or 5 seconds. Yes, yeah. And the other problem is that people don't realize. They think that it's okay to be hands-free on these phones. It's not, because it is like you have a paper over your eyes. You're not.
Because your brain is somewhere else, right?
Your brain is miles away. You're listening to somebody. If you're going to listen to them, you're going to pay attention to them. And everybody's probably had the experience, because everybody's used these phones in the car, of going down the road, whether they're hands-free or not, and then wondering whether they missed their turnoff or they missed the driveway of the store that they were going to because they weren't paying attention to their driving. You can only do one thing behind the wheel, and that's drive.
It feels irritating sometimes when you're talking to somebody and they're, you know what, hold on, I got to call you back, I got to find out where I'm going. But that's the safe approach, right?
Yeah, sure. You know, you can program your phone to have a personal message that says, mine says something like, "Hi, it's Wayne. I've decided not to use my phone when I'm driving because it's dangerous, and I may be driving now. Please leave a message." That way they know what's going on, and they wouldn't want to cause me to have an accident by picking up the phone and talking to them.
Yeah, final moments here. What are examples or ways that we can solve this problem for people?
Well, the key is education, but it also is they move texting to a primary offense. It's just like seatbelts. They need to toughen it up. And there is major enforcement on this move over law that we're talking about to protect police and fire and the rest who are out there making things go in Jacksonville and keeping the roads clear for us.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard about that, aren't aware of it, yeah, pay attention to what Mr. Hogan was just talking about. If there are flashing lights, give them a wide berth, get out of their way, make sure that that doesn't create a more dangerous situation. I appreciate talking through this.
Thank you so much.
It's the whole month of April that we're Distracted Driving Month. Get some awareness out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so for the coming weeks, we are working to hear from Congressman Al Lawson following results of the upcoming special session. We're also in touch with U.S. Representative Michael Waltz about what's happening in Ukraine and on national security. This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. I'm Kent Justice. Thanks for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17, and online at news4jax.com or streaming on News4Jax Plus.
See why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.
Dining near open water, it just puts me in some type of mood. How about you? It's time to vote for Jack's Best. Just head to news4jax.com/Jack's Best to vote for your favorite waterfront dining location. Jack's Best, presented by Visit Jacksonville, where you're the local expert.
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Right now, Snyderman is running a special on duct cleaning to make sure the air flowing through your house is fresh and clean. Schedule your duct cleaning today at SnyderAC.com.
Breathe easy, Jacksonville, with Snyderman.
What we want to be able to provide is the ability for our clients to focus on getting better and to allow us to take care of the rest. As a mom, as someone who has both successes and losses in life, and in representing clients for nearly 20 years, I've learned a great deal from my clients. And it's all given me the compassion, the experience, and the confidence that I know I'm advising my clients for them to be able to make the best decisions for themselves.
If you're a small business, there are lots of choices when it comes to your internet and technology needs. But when you choose Comcast Business Internet, you choose the largest, fastest, reliable network. You choose advanced security, and you choose fiber solutions with speeds up to 10 gigs to the most small businesses. Make your business future-ready with the network from the most innovative company.
Get started with internet for $30 a month with no annual contract required. Plus, ask how to get a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle.
At Take 5, you stay in your car because we're faster than you think.
Oil change is done.
I didn't even finish my coffee yet.
Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Each week, Channel 4 recognizes the Snyder All-Star Athlete of the Week. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete who excels in the classroom and in the community, go to news4jax.com and look for All-Star Athlete under the Sports tab. The following is a commercial program. It was produced and paid for by the advertiser.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Come Back Stronger. I'm Dana Brooks with my law partner Jimmy Fasig of the Fasig Brooks Law Offices. We have got a great show for you today. This man will inspire you. If you think you've been born with some sort of a disadvantage that's going to keep you from following your dreams and reaching your potential, not after listening to this guy. We have got Alan McCall on today, and you know him, Jimmy, from your Come Back Stronger Facebook group.
Yeah, he joined the Come Back Stronger Facebook group. I got to know him. He told his story. Which I absolutely love. And one of the greatest elements of a great comeback story is when when somebody has a challenge and then they turn that challenge into their greatest strength. And in this case, Alan is, he's legally blind. And so that's been a challenge for him. So what does he do? He goes into the radio business, and he's a fantastic radio announcer. And he has made it his mission in life. Really what he wants to do is he wants to bring back that old classic country music. So, but he's got that love and that passion for music, but he's turned his disability into his advantage.
Yes, because think about it. Originally, you'll find out that he was trying to be a cartoonist, and you can imagine, what a limitation your sight impairment would be in that. But then he fell in love with radio stations, being in there in the control room, spinning the records, whether it's the tape, whatever it is. But he learned to use whatever he had to the maximum to be able to do a job that he thought was not attainable for him.
Well, what I always say is focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths, because every single one of us has strengths and weaknesses. When you focus on your strength and you don't worry about the weaknesses, that's where you're going to shine.
You just don't accept that.
Yes, that's exactly what Alan has done.
We are going to come right back after this break, and we're going to have Kimmy Hogan, our law partner, her first segment of her interview with Alan McCall.
They might show up at your door with a check for $500 to try to get you to sign on the bottom line. They will do anything they can to save the insurance company money, and if you hire a lawyer and come back stronger, then you are going to be dealing with them on a level playing field.
You know what I tell my clients is that Come Back Stronger is not just a slogan, it's a game plan. Yes. Because in order to get you fair compensation, we have to prove to the insurance company that you are doing everything you can to get better.
Yes.
And when you do everything you can to get better, if you're still hurting, then insurance company, you better pay. Because we want to make you whole. So it's not just an idea of let's make you better after this horrible thing happened. It's a plan to make you better.
And I think in coming up with that plan, it makes us better lawyers too.
100%.
Because I think having that game plan helps us achieve more and be more successful for the client.
And we are back with Kimmy Hogan's first part of her interview with Alan McCall.
So when did you decide you wanted to get into radio?
Well, originally, radio was not my career choice. I wanted to be a cartoonist. I had learned to draw Snuffy Smith, the old mountain man cartoon, and developed a cartoon strip of my own. And I was about 10 years old, so I know nothing about cartoons being syndicated, that kind of thing. And so I worked about a year on developing this cartoon strip, and I got brave one day and mailed them to the Tallahassee Democrat. And Mr. Malcolm Johnson was the editor, and he sent me back a really cordial reply, but it says, we can't use cartoons just drawn out on paper like this. They go through a syndicate, and he explained how that worked. And when I looked at my cartoons, I was like, I just don't think I'm quite good enough to make it in the world of cartooning. Although I continued to draw for fun, and friends would say, draw me a cartoon, and I would. But I really didn't think I had what it took to be a cartoonist. And so there was a period of time right after that that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just real unsure, and I'm 12, going on 13, kind of that unsure of what I want to do with my future anyway. And one afternoon, we had just come in from church, and I tuned in 1330, which back then was playing country, as WMEN.
And that was a radio station.
That was a radio station, okay. And they had a contest on there, and the DJs were purposely making mistakes, and they would say, if you catch us making a goof, call us and tell us what that goof is, and you got a chance to win. I said, I won a contest and went into the radio station. Mom took me down there, and so they're like, the prizes are right there. And so I'm there, and then I look and I see the DJ at work, and there's buttons and machines and turntables, and I'm mesmerized. I'm just, Mom, look, I could do that. I could do that. And that's the day that the idea of going into radio became more than just a passing thought. It's like, I really would like to do that. And so that day, and I believe it was maybe 1974, I think that was the day that the idea of trying to get into radio as a career got started.
I love it. And let's fast forward real quick to what you're doing now.
All right. Now I'm actually the manager and operator and program director and janitor of WDXD 101.9. That's here in Tallahassee. It's a classic country radio station, and we also play bluegrass, some traditional country, but it sounds a little bit different. And a lot of our music came from a station that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, 93.3 Real Talk. So we have thousands of songs, and we have bluegrass and country music that goes back to the 45s. And Kimmy, we also play records. We've got vinyl, we've got turntables.
So tell me a little bit about the radio industry and how it works. I know you got into it many moons ago.
I did.
And so what was it like back when the music wasn't digitized? And so people are really just playing vinyl, and they've got a microphone up to it and it broadcasts?
Well, our original studio at WTAL 1450 was out on North Monroe Street in a converted house, and the studio was in a room that was about a third the size of this one. So not a lot of space, but we had turntables on the right. We had a reel-to-reel, and we had what they call cart machines, and that's tapes that look like 8 tracks, but they aren't. And the commercials would be on those, the legal ID for the station, that kind of thing would be on the carts. And it was mostly you and that little bit of equipment to keep everybody entertained. And so it was quite a challenge, and because you're juggling all these things, answering the phone, all the time, it was like constant motion. So now it's a little bit more of sitting at the computer and click ever so often, although at our station, we, as I mentioned, we still play vinyl and some CD. We have tons of CDs, so we do have the CD thing going on too. So.
That's really neat.
But the technology has really changed. That was 1979. That was 42 years ago, and myriad changes.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Well, let's talk about, so you are legally blind.
Yes, that's correct.
What was it like getting into the radio industry being legally blind?
It was hard. My vision is 20/400, and I had surgeries as a child, which got me to where I am now. The first station I tried to get hired at was back then WTNT 1270 Country Dynamite. They were playing 45s on records too, so I was kind of used to that. And I auditioned for them, and their program director was not impressed. And he said, you're not ready, that it's raw, I can see something, but you're not there. But you can come in after hours and kind of shadow some of our DJs, if you would like. And I took him up on that offer, and I went in after hours, and that's where I kind of learned how to run everything, because it can be daunting looking at a control board with, 12 knobs and machines everywhere and blinking lights. But once you get to the fact that, okay, it's just 12 volume controls, that's all it is, it simplifies it for you. And so I actually learned how to run a station there. And I'm still friends with a couple of the guys there. One of them is named Sandy Young, and if he sees this, he's going to say, oh my gosh, I remember that kid. and he's on my Facebook, so we've stayed in touch, and he's actually been through Tallahassee in the last couple of years. And so I learned how to do things at WTNT, but I came to realize my career was not going to be starting there. Yeah. It's just not going to happen here. And the afternoon DJ was named John Chomey, and he said, if you try WTAL, they need overnighters. They can't keep overnighters because everybody has to show up night after night, and people don't want to keep showing up midnight to 6 all the time. And so I applied there, and a gentleman named Tommy D, or Tom Jersey Polsky, he was my first radio boss, and he gave me a chance, 1979.
Oh,
and
wow.
That launched my career, but it was a tough road to start.
So we've got to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I want to hear more about that.
All right.
Oh, what a great story.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And what I love about what he's done is he decided to turn his passion into a profession. He's got this passion for classic country music. And so when we have these comeback stories come on here, a lot of times it's the classic comeback story is you overcome a challenge, you learn lessons from the challenge, and then you come back and somehow benefit society or humanity from what you've learned. A lot of the people that come on are they're running charitable organizations, but that's not necessary. You don't have to be in a charity to contribute to humanity.
Yeah.
If you're doing what you're passionate about, if you're doing what you love, and you're spreading that love to everybody else, you are contributing. You're doing the best you possibly can, because that's what it's all about. It's elevating the mood. It's about making everybody happy.
Yeah.
And country music for him makes him happy, and he's making everybody else happy by playing it.
Well, what I heard from this last bit was he knew he needed an in. He knew he needed to get his foot in the door. And so he took some jobs that were undesirable, things that other people didn't want to do. And sometimes you just have to do that. You have to get that foot in the door, take your shot, make yourself invaluable, make yourself irreplaceable. Next thing you know, you are in the big office. You are in the driver's seat. That's right.
Sometimes you take that first leap. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, and now he's doing something of value for the society generally, as I understand from country music lovers.
Yes.
The old school people like my granny, they like the bluegrass and they like the Conway Twitty and that kind of stuff, and some of this new country music that is real popular with the young people. It's got some hip hop influences and stuff. So he has given some people exactly what they want to hear. So he is contributing in many big ways.
I think I told you, I actually like the old country music.
Yeah.
I like all the
bluegrass.
old stuff. I know all the words to all the old songs.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
But the idea of him going in there blind, and there's lights and buttons that you have to do, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to do this, and he learned how to do it. He learned how to adapt, and now he runs his own radio station.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
When we come back after the break, you'll hear how that came about. That's an exciting story, how he got that opportunity, but we'll be right back after this break.
To me, Come Back Stronger is about starting the case with a plan and with a goal of not just to get back to where you were, but to actually move forward in your life. When an insurance company sees that you've been hurt and you've been in an accident and you've got medical bills, you've got pain and suffering, you have property damage to your vehicle, you are at a very low point in your life. And what an insurance company will do is they will try to take advantage of you. They might show up at your door with a check for $500 to try to get you to sign on the bottom line.
They'll show up at the hospital.
They'll show up at the hospital. They'll tell you not to get an attorney. They will do anything they can to save the insurance company money. And if you hire a lawyer and come back stronger, then you are going to be dealing with them on a level playing field.
And we are back. We're ready for Kimmy Hogan's second part of her interview with Alan McCall.
All right, so we were talking about 1979.
Yes.
And your first job in radio.
That was at WTAL here in Tallahassee.
WTAL. And then what was the next step that you took?
Well, the next step was that a year later, a new owner came in to WTAL from Ohio, and he fired us all. Oh. so it was like, okay. Well, I was going to FSU, and I had actually taken some time off from going to college to work the overnights. And so I decided this is probably a good time to get back into FSU and work on my degree in communication, which I did do, and I graduated in 1984 because I was working my way through. So I ended up kind of not knowing what my next station was going to be. And a friend of mine named Art Myers, who many people will recognize from Channel 6 TV and News,
Absolutely.
We had been friends since childhood. And I ran into Art at the North Florida Fair in October of 1983. Art said, "Alan, you looking for anything in radio these days?" I said, "Actually, I am." He said, "Well, I'm leaving WCVC 1330, which was then the only Christian radio station in town." He said, "I'm leaving that to go to Channel 6, and I need to find somebody that can at least fill in." And so he introduced me to Brian Cerny. And Brian was my next radio boss, and he said, "Are you available Saturday mornings by chance from sign on to noon?" "Yes, sir, you're hired."
I love it.
Because weekenders were hard to get because they had to show up, 6 a.m., weird times, sometimes overnighters. Although WCVC only operated in the daytime, that was part of their license. And so there was no more overnights, but there was really long days, like 6 a.m. to 8:45 at night or something like that sometimes.
It sounds like you were doing whatever you could to get into radio and just do great at it, right? Taking the late night shifts, taking the morning shifts.
Whatever they asked me.
Yeah,
whatever they asked me, because I wanted it so bad. It was just something that, it was a burning desire. I just wanted to do radio, and I just want to be good at it if I can be good or great or whatever. Yeah. And so I did. And WCVC actually did well when I was managing there in 1999. We paid off the mortgage to that station.
Oh, that's great.
And my boss was thrilled. He flew down from Illinois and took us all out for steak dinners. He's like, "We're celebrating. We have paid this off,"
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so that was a good day for WCVC.
So let's talk a little bit about your vision. Sure. Your vision, how well can you see?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe to people who actually have perfect vision, but I can see you, and I can see when you motion to me and things. But as far as reading, I wouldn't be able to read anything hardly. It's hard to read, but I can see people. But picking them out, like if it was a crowd of people, picking someone out. Say if you walk into a church and there's a whole congregation, it's really hard for me to pick out an individual in something like that.
So how did that affect your ability to select the music? Was there Braille on the...
Actually at WTA, we had a totally blind guy named Ray Slayton, and he did have things brailled, but I never learned Braille myself. I just looked close, and for a lot of years I wore glasses a lot.
That would allow you to see like that?
Yeah, that helped me see. But I was able to read everything, so it didn't take anything different.
And then what led to you being able to have your own studio now?
What started the station I have now was a phone call from Texas, and it was an engineer friend. His name is Leo Ashcraft, and he said, "Alan, there's a chance to build a low-power FM in Tallahassee." And he said, "I can put you on 101.9 with 33 watts. And I kind of said, "Leo," I said, 33 watts? I said, "I can't do anything with 33 watts. He said, "If there's any person living in Tallahassee, Florida that can do something with 33 watts, it's you."
And can you tell us what that means for non-radio folks?
Yes, for non-radio people, 33 watts, that's actually the power that we put out at the antenna to cover a certain territory. And so that's compared to what we call the big boys, which are your 100,000 watt FMs, well, 33 watts, there's light bulbs stronger than that. But nevertheless, this station covers about 10 miles. It gets a little iffy on this side of town, over where your office is. But out east and out toward Chairs and out toward Woodville, we have great coverage out there. And because we have the classic country, there's a lot of folks living out in the more rural areas that love it. And but to get back to how that started, the engineer said, I can put you on with 33 watts. And I said, well, that's really small, And so he was like, well, I think you could do it. So I thought, well, I'm going to ask my wife about that. She's going to say, nah. So I said, Marianne, what do you think about this idea? I think you should do this. I said, really? Yes, you will regret it if you don't. And so she actually was very supportive of this. And Mom and Dad, I couldn't have done it without them. They helped front some of the upfront costs to build it, which was about $30,000, which we paid back. And now we're actually expanding and building a nicer studio. They're the same place, but in a little modular building.
Yeah.
And so we're upgrading. We started out in a construction site trailer that's 8 by 26. That's just over 200 square feet. And we have seriously outgrown that because music, records, CDs, they keep coming in there. And so we've kind of outgrown it. But we built the station, we put it on the air in the summer of 2015, so we're going on 7 years. It is debt-free. It's not super profitable yet, but it's, I feel, going in the right direction. And we're hoping that more people will discover us in the classic country format that is unique to the area.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. For one more time for our listeners, will you let them know what the radio station is again?
Sure, Kimmy. It's WDXD 101.9, and we are here in Tallahassee, and we are classic country. That's our primary format. We have bluegrass on Saturday night, and we have some Christian programming on Sundays, some Southern gospel, a little bit of classic Christian music, which was given to us by WCVC, incidentally. When they sold and it changed to Catholic program, they gave us all of the music out of that station. And that's happened from several radio stations. Hence, I just feel like the Lord and the community have really been good to us, and I hope more people can discover us.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Oh, how inspiring.
Yeah, he's a great guy. One of the things I love about that story is I always believe that life is always guiding us to become the highest and best version of ourselves. And sometimes it's not in the most pleasant way.
Yeah, you got to tap into it.
In this case, he got fired, and it was because he got fired that led to a cascade of events that ended up with him now being happy and owning his own studio, which obviously he's thrilled about.
Right.
So I thought that was a really cool.
I did too, and I think he was very in tune to life sending him these signals, because when one door shut for him, he's like, well, education. I need to finish this degree. I'm a big fan on going back to school anytime you want. You are never too old to be educated in anything. So he does that. He realizes he has more resources than he thought. He dropped a lot of big names from this community around there. He had a lot of contacts that I don't think he realized were probably pulling for him in ways he never imagined. Next thing you know, another door is open to go into a studio. Next thing you know, here, start it up. Well, it's not big enough. I thought that was funny. He said there's light bulbs with more power than that station. But not really, he found a way to shine his light.
What I love about it is he said, I wanted it so bad. He was willing to do the night shifts. He was willing to do the Saturday shifts, right? That's when you're willing to put the effort and the time into becoming great at what you do, and then you're willing to put the passion and the love into it to benefit other people so that you can spread what you love, you are guaranteed success.
You are.
It is. Those are the fundamentals of success. So yeah, it's cool. He's a cool guy.
And then anything we tell our children, you know, they don't believe you when you say, do something you're passionate about.
Yes.
You know, don't just get a paycheck. Don't just, you know, go to school and get a degree because you think it's going to pay the most money. If you follow your passion, I promise you, the universe is going to send you the signals to put you exactly where you're supposed to be. We've seen it happen too many times, you and I.
Happens all
with
the time.
With some of our clients, they come through some very bad parts of their lives, and the next thing you know, they're living their very best life.
Yes.
So I've seen it too many times to not believe it with my whole heart. But we'll be back right after this break, and we'll do a wrap-up.
I love nothing more than when a former client refers me a friend or a relative, because that shows me that they really appreciated what I was able to do for them.
And the thing that's most rewarding to me and the thing that I'm proudest about with this firm is that we truly do love our clients. I've got them in my phone, I follow them on social media, I celebrate when they have their grandbabies or when they change jobs or when they have, you know, their first baby. And that's, I mean, that's real. And it's so rewarding from a personal standpoint and a professional standpoint. And I think that realness and that relationship helps us make their cases so much better too.
100%.
They're not just another number to us. They're not just a cog in the wheel. They're not just a way for us to make a living. It's just a way for us to have better lives ourselves by getting to know so many clients and helping them.
I think that's why so many of our clients come back to us and send people that they love and know to us. It's the highest compliment you could give. And we are back. You know, Jimmy, I was thinking about some of the things he said and all the encouragement he had within his own support system at home. He's got 2 parents who said, hey, I'm right behind you. We'll help you out. We'll loan you some money. He's already, you know, been able to pay them back, and now he's expanding and he's debt free. But I thought about this discussion when he came home and told his wife that this is what he wanted to do, and he was probably going, this is probably where this dream ends. And then she just said, no, ballyhoo, let's do this.
She said, you'll regret it if you don't.
You'll regret it if you don't.
And that is so true about opportunities. They say when you're on your deathbed and you're thinking about, you're looking back at your life, what are you going to regret the most? It's the opportunities that you passed up, that you didn't take advantage of because you were afraid of the risk. Right? Because it puts things in perspective. And so I really appreciate that his wife said that, because she was 100% right. He would have regretted it.
And that's another reason I would imagine he feels very reinforced that he's exactly where he's supposed to be in the world. I got the right people around me, I got the right stuff going on, and good things are happening for me. But you know, if you don't have a great support system like that, you can go online and you can find groups of people. That's why Jimmy started his Comeback Stronger Facebook groups.
It's the Basic Brooks Comeback Stronger group. Yeah, and that's how I met Alan. And that's how I meet a lot of great people who are there to support each other, to come back stronger from whatever challenges life throws at us.
Right, right. And sometimes, you know, if you don't have that system, build it. You know, you'll build that system. And it doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be somebody you're married to, living with, anything. You can get encouragement in a lot of places.
Well, it's fascinating to me because a lot of people reach out to me and they say, hey, you know, I need some encouragement, I need some motivation. And they're like, I know you're super busy. I know you're super busy.
I hear that all the time.
But I never say no.
No.
Because I've always got time for somebody that needs some guidance or motivation. I think that's not just me though. It's most people that have succeeded in life and that have gone really far, they're happy to share what they've learned.
Yeah. They want to see you succeed too.
Yes. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to reach out to others to try to get the help that you need.
And I'll tell you something else. I get on social, I get a lot of people saying, this is my sister, this is my daughter, she needs to be on your show. If you know somebody who has a great Comeback Stronger story, reach out to us. We'd love to have them on. Just follow us on social, and we will see you next week for another episode of Comeback Stronger.
Bye, everybody. And you know what the insurance company offered him? $5,000. Really? He's completely blind, and they offer him $5,000. Ask him to sign a release.
To a lot of people, especially when they're hurting and when they're down and when they're vulnerable. $5,000 is a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah.
And they're not looking at the value of what has been lost. They're not looking at what it would take to make that person whole, which is our job.
Yeah.
That's our job. Their job isn't. Their job is to save the insurance company money.
Right.
And they look at this person and they go, I bet $5,000 would get your full attention. Right. And they come in and they dangle it with a settlement release, and then once you sign it, you're done. You can't come back to us and ask us to waive a...
The proceeding was a commercial program. It was produced and paid for by the advertiser.
Hi, I'm Dre.
And I'm Luz, and we're Orbit Properties.
We're buying as-is houses for cash all across the Jacksonville area.
We buy properties of all types, in any condition, and any price range.
And pay cash fast whenever you need it.
Don't worry about repairs. We buy houses as is.
And with no fees, no realtor commissions, and no closing costs.
We make it quick and easy to sell your house.
We're Orbit Properties, and we want to make you a fair cash offer. Call 904-90-ORBIT.
There's nothing better than brunch outside. And Macy's has all your spring essentials. Best of all, get an extra 20% off top brands. Plus, Macy's Star Money bonus days are going on now.
We're dishing with the one and only Carla Hall, and she's making her legendary biscuits.
Look at those layers, y'all.
Wow. Monday at 10 on Channel 4. The following is a commercial program. It was produced and paid for by the advertiser.
The following is a paid presentation for NeuroQ, a total brain support system designed to boost focus, reduce anxiety and stress. Brought to you by Life Seasons.
Are you forgetting basic things or experiencing more of those so-called senior moments? What about low energy, stress, or anxiety?
My memory, my focus, having those brain freezes, it seems to be getting progressively worse day by day.
I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding words. I'm not as quick to the punch as I used to be.
I used to be really focused, but now not so much. I'm not as sharp as I used to be.
Sound familiar? These can all be signs of subjective cognitive decline.
But don't be scared. Be informed and take control.
Introducing NeuroQ, developed by world-renowned neurologist, author of The End of Alzheimer's, and leading brain health expert for over 30 years, Dr. Dale Bredesen.
NeuroQ is the first and only total brain support system designed to both protect and enhance healthy brain cognition as we age.
Cognitive decline is when you begin to lose the very things that make us human. When you are chronically having brain cramps and chronically having these senior moments, then there's usually something going on. There's a reason for it. These things don't happen for no reason. We've been taught for years that there is nothing to do. In fact, there's a tremendous amount that can be do. It, not only prevention, but in reversal, and the earlier the better.
Taking NeuroQ, I feel the difference. I'm more focused. My multitasking ability has improved, and that I definitely feel.
Taking the NeuroQ, I've had more of ability to concentrate on what I'm doing, complete a task, and not get as distracted either.
When I take the NeuroQ, I notice such a huge difference. My mood is happier, my energy's increased. This gives me hope. I am truly over the moon at these results.
Dr. Bredesen turned to Life Seasons CEO Darren Peterson to make sure NeuroQ could reach as many people as possible at the lowest price point and without sacrificing quality or standards.
And with a huge family that includes 10 children, Darren is one CEO who doesn't just believe in his products, he lives by them.
I'm a CEO of a large nutraceutical company. I have 10 children. I've got a lot on my plate. I want to be on my game. I want to be the sharpest I can. I got a lot to do and a lot to accomplish. And NeuroQ helps me to achieve those things.
The first thing we say to everyone when it comes to taking care of your brain health is know your score. And it's never been easier.
You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to go to a clinic. You can get your NeuroQ score right now at home.
In less than 60 seconds, for free.
The NeuroQ quiz is the first step to getting your brain back to optimal health. In less than 60 seconds, you can find out if NeuroQ is right for you and get your confidential NeuroQ score right from the privacy of your own home. It's free with absolutely no obligation.
The first test was very humbling, right? Just to realize, okay, there's a lot of room for improvement.
Once you know your score, your next step is giving your brain the vital nutrition it needs to perform at its highest level.
The NeuroQ Brain Supplement is a daily whole brain nutraceutical with a unique formulation of natural, potent ingredients to help restore essential vitamins and nutrients to the brain.
Studies on these ingredients have shown improvement in cognitive function, including memory, concentration, mental sharpness, reduced stress, and more energy.
And coming across Life Seasons and NeuroQ, in just 30 days, I've gone from the bottom at my baseline to almost a 4-fold improvement in my cognition, memory, verbal memory, visual memory, my processing speed, and I can feel the difference already.
Talking about that NeuroQ, oh my goodness, it's changed my quality of life. These are important times in relationships with your children. You can't get those moments back.
NeuroQ is delivering dramatic transformations to people of all ages.
And now it's your time to start exercising and nourishing the most critical organ in your body, your brain.
So learn your NeuroQ score for free and so much more.
Ever have trouble concentrating on something? Getting easily confused? Sometimes, do you forget where you put your keys? Or even why you walked into the room? That would be me. Well, sorry to say, it's all signs of cognitive decline. And it's way more common than you might actually think. But there's something that we can do about it now. It's not too late to reset, reboot, and give your brain the attention and whole support it deserves.
Thanks to decades of science, research, and NeuroQ.
Thanks so much for joining us today. What I love so much about what you are doing together is that you're telling us that we can make a choice to empower ourselves and our family. If we see a loved one that's in decline, we can do something about it.
Right. Yeah, so we've always been taught that you should wait as long as you can because there's absolutely nothing that can be done. And so everything has been completely backwards. We don't want to wait as long as we can. We want to come in as early as possible. And in fact, we'd like to be on prevention. We'd like to know what's going on because in fact, there's a tremendous amount that can be done about it. And we want to start with knowing where you stand. Just like you want to know your cholesterol, you want to know your cognitive score.
And we do that through our NeuroQ quiz. The great thing about this is we've made it so easy. I mean, this is something that you can do at home. I did it myself. I was a little nervous. I didn't kind of want to know where my brain was at because sometimes I don't know where it's at, you know. So, but the great thing is it's something that you can do in the privacy of your own home. You can go to our website. It's free to take. You can get a baseline, and from there we can provide you the information, the education, things to help you through that journey to know how to ensure that your brain can be at optimal health.
It's such a helpful thing because you are impacting your future. And what's more important than decline in your brain health? So that's the key, not to wait.
Is there a way to improve our NeuroQ score?
There are multiple things that all impact cognitive decline. So we need to address all these things as well as have the best nutrients for our brain's function.
Can't you just take a multivitamin? Doesn't that work for your brain too?
A multivitamin is a good beginning. But it's still leaving out many of the most critical factors that actually impact your cognition. So we want to address all those for best outcomes.
To go along with the NeuroQ
quiz, we've also developed a NeuroQ brain supplement.
The ingredients in this formula and the dosage amounts have been carefully selected to boost focus, clarity, while driving key nutrients to provide long-term and neuroprotection of healthy brain function. We ensure that our key ingredients are at efficacious levels and they've had trials behind them so the consumer can expect the results and achieve the results that they're wanting.
Darren, most CEOs would sit here and say, buy this, but instead you say, know your score.
Right, and we do that through our NeuroQ quiz.
No, we're not here just selling a supplement.
I want to make that clear. It's really know your score, and from there, we've got some information, some education for you to make some decisions to help you with your overall brain health.
And if we're going to reduce the global burden of cognitive decline, which is the ultimate goal, then it helps for people to know where they stand.
Because if you don't know where you stand right this minute, you can't do anything about it.
Do you sometimes struggle finding the right words? What about memory? Trying to figure out where you put something? Have you been experiencing low energy, stress, or anxiety?
If you're one of the over 45 million people worldwide who struggle with any form of memory loss and decline in brain cognition, you're not alone.
Lately, I have been forgetting things.
I forget names. I'll be looking at somebody like, I met you before.
But luckily, you can do something about it today.
Introducing NeuroQ, the first and only system designed to both protect and enhance healthy brain cognition as you age. NeuroQ has been researched and developed by a leading pioneer in neurodegenerative disease, Dr. Dale Bredesen.
The brain is a little bit like an orchestra in that there are many things that go into making this function appropriately. And when you start seeing things that are changing, you start having cognitive changes, you are losing typically multiple things. So identifying those is critical and then addressing each one. And that's the way that we've gotten the best results.
Your first step is knowing your score with the NeuroQ quiz. In less than 60 seconds, you can find out if NeuroQ is right for you and get your confidential NeuroQ score right from the privacy of your own home. It's free with absolutely no obligation.
Once you know your score, it's time to get going towards better brain health. And it starts with step 2.
The NeuroQ Brain Supplement is a daily whole brain nutraceutical with a unique formulation of natural, potent ingredients to help restore essential vitamins and nutrients to the brain.
Studies on these ingredients have shown improvement in cognitive function, including memory, concentration, mental sharpness, reduced stress, and more energy.
Doctor developed, this unique formulation includes powerhouse ingredients for the brain,
such as Gotu Kola, that's been used for thousands of years to stimulate the growth of new brain cells and increase mental sharpness.
Ginkgo leaf extract, that's been shown to support healthy blood flow to the brain and can help reduce symptoms of anxiety.
Phosphatidylserine supports brain function by maintaining healthy cell membranes and boosts energy levels.
Coffee fruit extract fuels brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which boosts nerve transmission.
And Yamata beef arm propolis supports the development of nerve tissue and is also neuroprotective.
The NeuroQ supplements worked for me, and I started seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, memories coming back, my ability to walk in a room and know why I did, where I was going, and to have that start turning little bits at a time right from the get-go. This has been the best thing ever.
At Life Seasons, we believe your brain health is quite simply priceless, which is why for the very first time ever, Dr. Bredesen and Life Seasons are making NeuroQ available to everyone for only $79.95.
At Life Seasons, we believe we don't need to change nature. Nature's smart, and science is validating or proving what nature has already figured out.
Call or go online in the next 18 minutes to try NeuroQ and save an additional $20. So you'll pay just $59.95. We're so certain you'll love NeuroQ and will notice the difference right away. During this limited time offer, you can get a second month of the NeuroQ Brain Supplement absolutely free.
Plus, you'll receive Step 3 of the NeuroQ Total Brain Support System, Dr. Bredesen's lifestyle roadmap for healthy brain cognition, with information and guides on 7 key lifestyle changes that will accelerate healthy brain function.
Plus, customize your NeuroQ journey with additional reports, guides, mobile apps, and resources with Dr. Bredesen's online program.